This is about giving people that we normally don't listen to a chance to speak. In a situation, in a conversation about men, let women speak. In a conversation about women, let men speak. Because I think we have, as observers of the other person, we are likely to tell you what kind of a person you are than you are to tell us, because you have an idea in your mind of how you are and who you are. And most of the time, that is not who you are. It's an idea you have of yourself. Women, we love to victimize ourselves. Why is that? From the moment you are born, the moment you are able to conceptualize certain things, you get scared about childbirth, you get scared about your period, the first time you want to have sex, men attacking you. There's always something that a woman must be afraid of, a girl must be afraid of. The world is attacking women. Stand up. Even if you don't experience the traumas that are experienced by many other women, you still will echo the pains that they experience, because you feel it is within your duty as a woman to be in those situations. Therefore, you create a script in your mind where you'll find yourself in situations where you are the victim and man is a perpetrator and you are the one who needs rescuing. That needs to be sorted out. We need to have a conversation about that. Why must women victimize themselves? With that being said, in Eckhart Tolle, I never know how to say his name, but I always reference him in so many ways. The Power of Now, he talks about the body pain. He talks about the pains that women normally share, because again, when you get to learn that a woman is going through this, you don't want to fight for that woman. Hence why feminism is such a sticky thing, something that people tend to grab on, not because they believe it's a valid thing and a valid argument, but because they don't want to be in the wrong, because women have been victimized for so long. Just like when people say, listen to a black woman, I will only listen to you when it makes sense to me, sweetheart, not because of your gender or your race. But nonetheless, he spoke about that, and later on got to understand that menstrual cramps are not something that is natural. If you do experience menstrual cramps, you should see a doctor and change some lifestyle, what you're consuming mentally in your mind. And women tend to synchronize whenever we spend a lot of time together. And that happens as well with body pains. A woman can share with you what she has experienced, and because we're more synchronized in the sense of menstrual pains and menstrual cycles, basically. So with that being said, that when you're looking at numbers and women being victimized, and a woman telling you that she had a terrible experience with such and such, and you remember that there's many other women who have told you that you need to take this precaution to protect yourself from men, because again, men are there to hunt you down and put you down, manipulate you, and what so forth and so forth. Again, teaching girls to be victims, teaching boys to be perpetrators and evil people. In our minds, we create that script. That script exists, and we need to look at it. And I came to understand it when my friend was like, hey bro, what exactly are you consuming? You are enjoying watching true crime out of the fun of it. Kate Williams said the same thing. I felt like, how could you say such a thing? But it's true. It's true. Most of the things that women tend to experience, again, it's not a fact, happen to be a mental situation, happen to be a script that we need to follow through. You need to be the bad guy. Like the bad guy to a point where that I have movements, I have hashtags that are dedicated to you. I have a whole bunch of groups of people believing that you are indeed, or your whole entire gender is the bad guy. Only because you get to sit down and tell me really that I'm the problem. I do certain things and such things. I dress in such a way, therefore inviting such behaviors. But then I come in and be like, but that shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't be happening, but it's happening. And for you to then put yourself and make yourself a bait in a world, in a space of where everyone is hungry and they want to touch something. They're gonna want to touch something. And that is not to victim blame. That is to just say, don't become a victim in situations of such. And it's, again, a very deep, complex situation, because, again, it does not relate to every single story that you ever hear about. But most times when you go through something, when we ask you what happened, what were you wearing, what were you doing, what was the circumstance, we're not asking to say that it is your fault. We're trying to understand how we can prevent it. I'm a woman. Of course, I'm going to tell my children that the biggest thing that they need to fear in their life is men. My daughters, more specifically. I'm a woman. Of course, I am going to put myself in whatever situation I need to put myself in to further perpetuate that women are oppressed in this world. I am a black woman. Of course, listen to me when I speak. I'm a woman. Of course, every man is trying to have sex with me. We teach women, young women, the moment you are born, there's something that you have to be scared of. There's the, oh my God, wait until you give birth. Wait until you lose your virginity. Wait until you get your period. Wait until this happens. Wait until. There's always this idea of constantly waiting for the next worst thing to start happening. We grow up and then we have movements. Men are trash, men are this, all this kind of dialogues in relation to how horrible men are in treating women. Given that is a fact in most cases, but again, we've gotten to a point where we are teaching people who have never experienced such a thing to furtherly spread the word that men are horrible. We teach girls to always be afraid of something. So we cannot really be shocked when we come to realize that women carry a victim mentality. We tell girls and women that we are at the top of the mountain and men must climb up the mountain to get to where we are at. They constantly need improvement. We don't. They constantly need to work on things and communication, expressing their emotions and so forth and so forth. But we don't, because we are the ones at the end of it. We are the ones who are just receiving abuse, we're receiving manipulation, we're receiving all of these horrible things from men, furtherly making us victims to everything that exists within society. I haven't finished the book, but it was written by the guy who wrote the games people play. Basically, What to Say After Hello. In that book, he talks about the scripts that we create in our minds. There's the hero, there's the loser, there's the whatever. You will write a script that will follow those things, those ideas, whatever they might be. If you think, if I put on this dress and walk out, a bunch of men are going to be like this, you are going to find the men. They are going to perform how you want them to perform and behave in the way that you anticipate they will behave and want them to behave. Because again, the script you wrote, you wanted that to happen. It's gonna happen. And when you come back, you then tell us about all the horrible things that men do and all the horrible words men have said to you. If I see you half naked, we're not victim blaming. We are not victim blaming. That is not what we're doing, but we're trying to understand something in order to prevent it. We need to look at things realistically and kind of understand, is this real? Is it really happening? Am I actually feeling this fear, or am I making this fear up? Large amount of time we find out we're making the fear up. Again, a lot of women are oppressed and put in situations where they shouldn't be. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Matiliso, by the way, and we have multiple kind of conversations, just looking at things as they are and seeing where our faults might be as the victims, right? The victims of society, the prey to the predators. And sometimes when you think about it honestly, we are not the prey. In fact, the prey is whoever is vulnerable at that moment. And sadly enough, we tend to make ourselves more vulnerable than any other. There's only two genders. We make ourselves more vulnerable to the other gender, basically. Therefore, it's easy for us to become prey. As we're having this conversation, I would like you to also keep in mind that this is not to say that every person who has experienced some sort of violence towards them is something that they invited within themselves. No, but it's something that I need to look at as a girl. Only interactions that came from men that were not pleasant for me were when I would wear something that would invite specific attention to my body or to a part of myself that I did not want that much attention to be emphasized. And from there forth, you learn to understand, this brings me this kind of attention, this does not bring me this kind of attention, and you need to accurate how you want to receive specific attentions and not just be, oh my God, this is happening to me. Of course it's going to happen to you. You've set the stage. You have set the stage for such things to play along. So if you have set the stage and then the performance doesn't take, I know you'll be disappointed. When I was speaking about the scripts, and if you think of yourself as a battered woman, a depressed, a dying, a constantly abused, a victim of some sort, you will make that happen. You will try to make sure that that story is a story that keeps on playing, whether to yourself or to other people. That story is a story that needs to constantly be told. There absolutely is a need to keep women and girls safe and children safe from predators and from people that are normally evil. So this conversation basically is to just have an honest and real conversation in regards to our own safety and keeping ourselves safety, and not constantly having that thing at the back of your mind thinking that you are not safe. Oh shit, I need to look up, I need to do this, because you feel like you're not safe. Take those extra care, but it should not be the main motivation. You just do it because people do fucked up things, not because you're a woman. That includes how you are dressing, how you are presenting yourself into the world, and how you move on about, basically. So let's start with a video.
But all of my friends who prioritize having kids in their 20s are all now single moms at 40 and divorced. I got so many of these comments on my last video, so I'm going to touch on it now. Disregarding exceptional reasons such as real abuse, the fact is 80% of women are the ones ending marriages, 90% if they have a degree. Now, I've known about this statistic way before Jordan Peterson started popping off, and unfortunately, it was due to my own research because I saw how many of my female friends were leaving their husbands. I'm very tired of this victim mentality that has manifested within the female realm. It is hard for me to have empathy for single divorced moms when 90% of the time they are at fault for it. It is completely self-inflicted. I'm also coming from a place of self-critique because, believe it or not, just like every woman in America, I have succumbed to some of those thoughts. But we listen to social media and mass media and we tell ourselves that there's someone else there that's going to treat us even better, and we neglect the other party, which is our husbands, and then all the children that are involved as well. Oh, but let's not forget the vows you took. You cannot discredit my theory of prioritizing a family first and then working on a career, all because you have women that fall in that 90% category that left their husbands. Now just wait for this comment section to blow up on all the women that tell me they are the exception, that 90% are leaving because the men are so terrible.
We do get to see a large number of single mothers, a lot of mothers raising kids on their own, and I've always wondered, but why? And then there was this study let out, I can't really pinpoint to when it was exactly, where it spoke about the disadvantages of not having both parents raising a child, right? And you're looking at it, you're like, damn, yeah, there are certain aspects that my father has taught me that are so very much something that I need to know, something that I need to understand, and that my mom wouldn't have taught me. But again, I wasn't raised by those people, but again, because I wasn't raised by them, I can understand it. You get on the internet and you look at people and say, I'm a single mother. That gets more views, that gets more sympathy, that gets more, oh my God, let's follow her and make sure her life is so much better. Where is the husband? Men are so trash and so terrible. But in reality, you find out that she's the one who kicked him out. She's the one who said this marriage is coming into an end. She's the one who chose herself over that child at the end of the day. We don't care about how you and that man's relationship is, as long as it's not abusive. Nobody gives a shit. Both of you have now decided to have a child together. You want to raise that child alone with your immense amount of anger towards men. Now you are raising a child who again will associate men with whatever it is that you associate men in, and come to the same understanding that men aren't anything. Even if it's a young boy that you are raising, grows up with that understanding. I don't know what that would do to his mind. There are certain things a woman cannot teach a young boy, certain things a dad cannot teach his daughter.
Let's do 7 signs of a victim mentality. I'm pulling back no punches, so this is your trigger warning. Number 1, you always feel as if you have it worse than everybody else.
You don't understand what it's like to being a woman. And then on top of that, especially when you put marginalized POC women, oh my God, you don't understand. You'll never understand what it's like to be a woman.
Number 2, you wear your victimhood as a badge of honor. Number 3.
You've never seen a survivor of this domestic abuse survivor, and it's like it's right there. It's the first thing I know about you. I'm just like, I don't need to know what you've gone through, because what will normalize in my mind is that, oh, okay, cool, you fall under this group of people. It's happened before, and that's me thinking of the worst possible thing that could come out from you oversharing about the traumatic experiences that you've gone through.
You use your past as a reason why you cannot change your future.
Oh goodness, I've heard someone say, because I'm this kind of person and they came in like this and I couldn't just, but you can change. Everybody's capable of change. What the hell? You are capable of learning new things. You are capable of unlearning certain things. You are capable of apologizing and seeing your own faults. But because you're a victim, everything you say is right. You don't listen to me, and my feelings are offended. Maybe they need to be offended. Honestly, let's have a real conversation about that. Your feelings need to be offended. It's not about you. It's not about me either.
Number 4, you can never see the good in life, no matter how much good there is. Number 5, You always have something to complain about, but when it comes to gratitude, it's nowhere to be found.
Men are always attacking you, catcalling you, saying these things to you, rude things. It's to a point where you're like, damn, I had never met so many men in my life. Like, do you purposely put yourself in situations where there are these men?
Yeah. Number 6, everyone in your story is the villain except you. Oh, and number 7, you're offended by posts like this one. Yeah.
So, let's move on.
And I realized, god damn, women will disrespect you 10 times. You check them once and they play victim. You check them once and you're the bad guy. You're the big meanie. And I realized that women will whine and whine and whine. And I'm not even saying I've never done this in my life. I probably have. But we live in a society that men can never check women for their behavior without being called toxic, manipulative, controlling. So it's funny because they used to kind of trigger me when I would watch them until I got red-pilled and I realized they're right about a lot of things.
I agree with Miss Pearl over here, Miss Pearly Things. I agree with her, with what she's saying. I really get what she's saying because I could see it in myself. Again, with the conversation I had with my friend, it made it clear that there's some situations where I'm victimizing myself and it's not necessary. Yes, there's possibly a problem that we need to talk about, a way in which we can approach certain situations. But most of the times, I'm making the situation much worse because I'm assuming that you cannot come to me in any other way. How I'm perceiving what you are saying is exactly how you're meaning it. I'm not giving you a chance to speak. I'm not giving you a chance to be understanding. Already, I'm victimizing myself. No, babe, it's you. You might be the problem. I don't know how to tell it and break it down to you, but I think it might be you. I think it's you. I'm sure it's you. Because what do you mean all of them? You're telling me all of the ones that you've been with, they are the same. No one is saying, man, I love these sweethearts and understandable creatures, just like no woman is that. But if again you keep encountering the same person in different bodies over and over again, there's something you need to look at. There's something you need to check out. There's a conversation that you and your psyche need to have.
Walking down the street, minding my own goddamn business, and a man decided to tell me that he loves my camel toe. It is 95 fucking degrees.
Let's be stupid for a moment. You're telling me if I, a woman, get in front of a man half dressed, he's gonna sexualize me? What do you mean? Let's not be stupid, man. Let's just be real.
As long as the human race exists, feminism will never be dead. There's something that we're always gonna have to strive and work towards.
We will make it so. We will always find a problem.
I think feminism isn't actually about equality. It's about equality when it benefits us. I think feminism is really about women wanting special privileges and treatment at the expense of men often. And I think it's alive and well.
This is a woman who wants to get things done. This is a woman who's saying, I'm tired of me having to play this role of being a victim, and therefore I'm gonna fight.
Similar to what Pearl just said, I find that a lot of feminist ideology and thought today feels more of like a supremacist movement rather than something that is supposed to be advancing the goals of equality. I don't think that we can really term what's going on as feminism because it looks so different to, I think, the earlier feminist movements. So in that way, I would say it's taken its last breaths of life. It's dying.
With all of this that we have seen today and discussed, we can understand that possibly feminism gradually perpetuates this victim mentality in women. It's time. Like, stop victimizing yourself and you start really seeing where the problem is. Not to say that it does not exist, it does exist. But stop it. Stop it. Look at things realistically. What have you gone through? What have you experienced? What has been taken away from you? And what have you done to perpetuate such a thing? Again, not victim blaming. We're just looking at a situation so that we can correct it, make it much better, much understandably. Women are not stupid idiots, and men are not just violent creatures going about just willing to kill any and everybody. No, we both play a role. What continues to grow is nurtured by its environment. If in your life right now something keeps happening, do something about it, because whatever environment you're in is allowing that thing to keep happening over and over again. And most of the time, you are the environment allowing it to happen. Stop victimizing yourself. Don't be stupid. Be clever. Don't always be the victim. There's something off about that. Don't always be the victim. When a man is telling you what it is that you do wrong, stop picking up the phone and the first thing and oversharing on the internet about how trashy a man is. Just like as the queer kids with no identities needs to stop freaking out whenever they get misgendered. Stop picking up your phone. Sit down and ask yourself, what did it bother you so much? What about it bothered you? And if you think it came from nowhere, go ask the question to the person who brought it about. Stop this thing of victimizing yourself. It's not cute. We are over it. It's not cute anymore. It was cute, it was sweet at some point, but now everybody's a monster. These people are this and that people are that. Like, it's gotten to a point of self-victimization that now black people are doing the exact same thing that white people used to do to black people. You're the bad guy now. You've been such a victim to a point where it's like, come on. To women all over, take criticism. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next week. I don't know what we want to talk about then, but probably the issues of my face, skincare. And yeah, if you want to spend more time with me, you can watch some of my previous videos. They are all over the place. Goes from poetry to sitting alone to mumbling for hours to conversations like this.